If winter comes, can spring be far behind? This line from Shelley best suits the life of the hill people of Leh. Come spring or summer, the town takes on a whole new colourful meaning, and like many international and national tourists visiting this spot, we are also here to experience life in Leh. For a newcomer, finding your way around Leh town is not a difficult task. The town can be navigated by foot in less than an hour. Most tourists naturally gravitate towards Changspa, the touristy part of town. Often, people are drawn to this hill town because of the many adventures it has to offer. Well, this is Changspa, the most visited and the popular tourist part of Leh town. Here, of course, you have souvenir showrooms like this and also shops that rent out trekking instruments. Let's check one out. If you love nature, want to put your endurance to test, or if you are a professional trekker wanting to explore the rugged and the inhospitable terrain of the Trans-Himalaya, Leh is a great place to start. And professionally trained trekkers like Sonam can help you with this.
You know, the backpackers, they are not coming here with equipment, so they need some equipment here. So that's why I opened a shop here to rent them equipment.
How far does your trekkers go?
Some of the trekkers, they just go for a few days, 3-4 days hiking, and some are going for 15 days, 20 days, up to 1 month. I'm also organizing expeditions up to 6,000 meter peaks, which is not so technical but quite high. So most of the European tourists, they want to go up to 6,000 meters.
And what would a trekking expedition cost?
That is depend on your budget. Some organizers, they do by their, some trekkers, they go by their own. They just hire tent and sleeping mats and equipment. They just go by their own. So they just have to pay for the permit for the peak. And some are coming by big companies like, British company, European companies. They pay lots of money. They pay more than 3,000 euro for 2 weeks trip.
For the less adventurous, the upward climb towards Petuk Gompa might be an endurance test by itself. Eight kilometers from Leh town, this monastery is at an elevation of 10,852 feet and was built in the 11th century. The main image inside this Petuk Gompa is that of Lord Buddha, and the Dukhang, or the main temple, also has a high throne reserved for the Dalai Lama. Perched precariously on this hill is the Petuk Monastery, or the Petuk Gompa. Built in the 14th century, this is the seat of the Bakula Rinpoche. The Dalai Lama has identified the 20th reincarnation of the Bakula Rinpoche, who is a young boy from the Nubro Valley. This boy is now a resident of Leh town, and he comes to the Petuk Monastery and the school here for his formal and religious training. Leaving the monastery behind, we set off towards the main town. And this time on our agenda was another uphill climb towards a rarely visited part of Leh town. But more of that after a break. We're now at one of Leh's most interesting places, a safe haven and a sanctuary for Leh's once working, now discarded donkey population. Hello, hello, hello. Artistically designed signboards are everywhere in this sanctuary. A home for the homeless donkeys. South African photojournalist Johnny Lefson, who visited Leh in early 2008, was taken aback by the way people treated these animals. With local help, she set up this sanctuary where old, abandoned, pregnant and injured animals are given a safe home and the medical attention they need.
Well, the donkeys, I say it's important for Ladakhis because in summer when we work on a field, people grow the potatoes and they give taking things from mud, some from house to on the field. At that time we really need the donkeys. So you see, the population of donkeys very much. When you go to the villages, still they are using donkeys. But now in town, people ignore it and they say when we say donkeys belongs to you, the people say no, we don't belongs to the donkeys are not ours, and they like this. And then finally we take them to the sanctuary and we just take care of their donkeys. But our more target is our future target is to take care of donkeys who is in the roaming around the town, get accident. We take away him here and then take care of the donkeys.
This little one is just about 15 days old. He's called Kuruk, which means a baby donkey. Now, since he moved in here, life has changed for this little one and he's not even afraid of human contact. And in fact, he's my first friend here. Hello, Bobo. Funding for the sanctuary comes from donations, and you can even adopt a donkey for a small price. From the scanty in the hills, we made our way into the very heart of the city. This is Leh's Old Town. It was once abandoned by the local people living here, but has today a recognition of a heritage site. UNESCO is funding the restorations here along with private agencies like LOTI, which stands for Leh Old Town Initiative. When Leh opened its doors to tourists in 1974, those who lived in the old town migrated to their farmlands, building guest houses to accommodate the tourism influx. Old Leh, with its 178 stone, mud and timber houses, sandwiched between earth walls and the many stupa gateways, was nearly abandoned. In 2003, when Andre Alexander first visited Leh, he knew that he had to do something to preserve this crumbling 15th century town, which was a significant example of historic Tibetan architecture. And today, though Alexander's untimely death has shocked his team, the restoration work at the old town continues.
The old town of Leh is a historic old town, and many of the buildings in the old town, which are owned by the local residents, and they are in an abandoned state. So these houses need to be conserved. So here was an organization which had the vision and the resources to take out that aim, and they also did some kind of base study of the old town, and they found out that at least 30% of the houses appeared abandoned state, so which comes to around 190 buildings which needs conservation. So since in 2004 they took up this project called the pilot project area of this vicinity called Manekhang. So here they conserved several buildings, conserved a stupa. Then they also made this beautiful pavement with drain. So after this, then they move out to other houses. And for this initiative, the Leh Old Town Initiative, or LOTI we are locally known as. So we also received the Asia Pacific Award for conservation.
The money for restoration is equally shared by the house owners and LOTI. The main objective is to skillfully embrace modernity while well within the bounds of tradition. In situations where the owners weren't willing to put in the money, others like Laurent, who moves to Leh every summer from France, is pitching in.
In the old town you have very beautiful houses. Some of them need repairs. And here in Leh I met the LOTI association and different people working for the LOTI. Andreas, André, Benjamin, Stephen and so on. And so I thought it was better if I live in the old town and share with local people instead of staying in a guest house with foreign people. If I come in India, it's not to stay with foreign people, but Indian people, of course. The comfort was 17th century also. Local toilets, no water, but we provide electricity, when there is electricity, of course. And the rooms are very, very small, but warm. And so during the night, when it's cold, you stay in your room and it's perfect. You don't need any stove or nothing.
While work was on to reverse the decay of this Himalayan town, the team unearthed many treasures, the largest of which was a stone sculpture that dates back to the 10th century. Today, it stands outside Lala Cafe, a meeting point for those interested in a heritage walk across Old Town. For us, the next stop was at the industrial part of Leh. More after the break. The international fashion industry recognizes Kashmir as a highly prized soft wool, and the export of embroidered Kashmir shawls produced in Kashmir dates back hundreds of years. What many might not know is that the wool or the pasham used to make these shawls come from the Changthang Plateau in Ladakh, where the Changpa nomads reared these goats in extreme conditions.
15,000 फीट के अल्टीट्यूड पे है ऑलरेडी, तो विंटर में जो टेम्परेचर है वो -45 तक भी चला जाता है। तो एक तो प्योर नोमैड के होने की वजह से उनके पास खाली टेंट ही होता है, और सबसे चैलेंजिंग जो उनके लिए है ये विंटर्स के 3 मंथ्स है, जैसे दिसंबर, जनवरी, फरवरी जो पीक विंटर होता है। एक तो रोड कनेक्टिविटी जो है लेह से बिल्कुल कट ऑफ हो जाता है, और उनको विंटर के मंथ्स में ही 1-2 बार उनको माइग्रेट होना पड़ता है इन सर्च ऑफ पास्चर।
And it is this tribe that has most benefited from the Pashmina de-herring plant set up in Leh.
इस कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी से मैक्सिमम जो बेनिफिट है वो जो है खाली हर्डर्स को मिला है, क्योंकि 1995-96 में उनको 300 से लेके 600 पर केजी जो है रॉ मटेरियल को मिलता था, लेकिन आज के डेट में वो जो है 1 केजी जो रॉ मटेरियल का 1850 जो रेट है वो इस कोऑपरेटिव की वजह से है। इन एडिशन जो मिडलमैन जो कश्मीर की जो ट्रेडर्स जो बेचते हैं यहाँ पे, उनको इससे भी ज़्यादा जो देना पड़ता है, तो डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट जो है हमारे हर्डर्स को है।
A goat when combed will give an average of 250 grams of pasham. But this raw material has to go through various stages before it is ready to be woven into thread.
Raw pashmina is washed about 4 times in the scoring section, at the end of which it comes out like this. From here it goes to the de-herring section, and the final output is that feather light, soft, smooth pashmina, the pride of Ladakh.
It is cleaned and washed multiple times, spread out to be dried and then de-haired through a painstakingly long mechanical process. Small-scale weaving industries in the vicinity have also been able to make good use of this plant. First, the pashim is made into thread, which is counted before putting into the loom. Women from nearby areas get together to hand-weave Pashmina shawls.
The deherring plant also supplies to domestic buyers who in turn have small-scale weaving units which make Pashmina shawls and help support many families.
1,200 yards of fine thread will make 4 shawls. Traditionally, wool comes in 3 colors: white, beige and grey. But these days, shawls are often dyed using natural colors made from apricot extracts. And when this is later sold at 5,000 or 6,000 rupees, one can rest assured knowing that the money cycle will surely come a full circle.
The hospitality of the hill people are quite something. Everyone will greet you with this word Jule, which means hello, how are you, good morning, thank you. You can use it just about everywhere. And it is a very useful word if you plan to make friends locally. And I've personally made so many friends that I know I have to come back to Leh another time.